What's up, everybody? Happy Memorial Day. Memorial Day? What? Is it plural? It could be. It is right now. Okay, so there you go. I just want to run down a list of the top conspiracy theories that are going on right now and most prevalent, I suppose. Boy, sure has been crazy this past couple of about like a year or so now. But let's go ahead and run them down. Nibiru. I tell you what, I have seen so many pictures of this double sun and this second moon, and I don't see it in my atmosphere. I really don't. Some people say that the sun is a flare lens, a fake sun. I haven't seen it. I mean, I could take pictures all day of a sun that looks like the sun that I saw when I was 5 years old. So this one's a little one. This is a little bit hard for me to swallow and buy into. I mean, those pictures are and the videos are very compelling, sure, but if it was in my atmosphere, I don't know. Maybe it's another dimensional gate that I'm just kind of tapped into, or maybe they're. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't see two moons. I don't see two suns. I don't. The Nibiru is supposed to be coming into it's a orbit with us, or I don't know. I've heard this isn't the first time I've heard about Planet X Nibiru, but I still haven't seen anything conclusive. I mean, there's very compelling things, but nothing conclusive. But I don't know. It's interesting, I guess. Flat Earth, wow, can't get away from that. You know, um, Flat Earth. I'll say this: there is some compelling evidence. I don't think it would be such an idea. I mean, whenever I first heard about it, I was like, "Oh, geez, really?" But there is some compelling evidence. But the bottom line is same thing. I mean, until I put a camera on a rocket and I can, do the experiment myself, I'm. It's easy to manipulate, I suppose. Like the way that you can view things or visually with editing software and stuff like that. Just not completely sold on it. I do believe that it's got some really good foundations and everything, and it's a very interesting concept. And I think a little bit of it holds merit when you get to the fact that we haven't been to the moon, and the Van Allen belt. I'm not saying that there's a dome because that's kind of weird to me. I can't. That's a hard one to get me through the dome because we have meteorite crash sites on Earth. Ones that are like in Arizona. I mean, we have impact craters. It's pretty hard for a rock to hit the Earth and leave a crater and go through a dome. Just kind of saying. It's kind of weird. I don't know if a lot of people who are flat earthers think that about that type of stuff, but if there's this dome and the heavens and the lights and stuff aren't exactly real or whatever, then how do we have shooting stars and stuff like that? It's just an interesting concept. You have to take it with a grain of salt, and you have to take what you can, pick and pull. I mean, I'm not going to write an essay on it anytime soon. I'm not going to do a video on it until I have something hugely, conclusive. We can talk and theorize, but and these videos that are coming out, some of them are very compelling, like the ones with the rockets where they, spin around and they go up into the atmosphere and they stop. Well, I mean, I've seen some pretty interesting stuff on videos that I couldn't believe. Most of the time, that was fake, or you know, but it is one of those things that's kind of a little bit gaining traction. I remember when I heard that Shaquille O'Neal was like a flat earther, and I was like, oh my gosh, well, that's you know, I was just like, well, and then I kind of scoffed it off. But it is kind of interesting, and you would have to totally redesign your kind of thought process to what, as far as, and actually, not really, you wouldn't, because whether the Earth is flat or round, it really doesn't matter. We're here. If it's flat, what does that accomplish? If it's round, what does it accomplish? Nope, nothing. The only thing that would alter the situation is if it was within a dome, which would be highly unlikely because otherwise we wouldn't have any kind of comet or asteroid strike marks upon the Earth. And you can look on Google and find there's several. Some of them are actually underwater right now. So we've had asteroid impact holes. One of the famous ones that I know of is in Arizona. So you can take a look at that. So it was like a mile wide. I've been there several times. It's pretty cool. So, but anyway, enough of that flat Earth stuff. And then high definition pictures of Jupiter. Wow, look at that. You can almost touch it and feel it. It's got so much texture to it. Oh my, it's beautiful, isn't it? NASA just put these out. And that thing is beautiful. It's and the detail, it seems to be amazing, and the resolution, the high definition. I mean, that's got to be 4 or 8K. It's amazing. I don't buy that shit. I really don't. I mean, I'm just saying, because I can't even hardly get a good signal when I'm in the fucking bathroom. I mean, I go through a tunnel and I can't get nothing. But 588 million kilometers away, we're getting 4K resolution pictures. That's amazing. That's astonishing. That's fantastic. It's charming even. I mean, so we were getting these super high def resolution photographs, in parentheses, by the way. What's very interesting to me in most of these pictures of outer space that NASA presents? I don't see one star. I mean, it's like you get outside of our atmosphere and the stars are gone. I know usually whenever I go outside of the city and I get into the country, you can't miss a star. On a clear night, there are stars everywhere. It's when you get into the inner cities or populated areas where there's light pollution from lamps and artificial lights for nighttime illumination that dole out the stars. It's kind of hard to see them inside of a city, but if you get out to the country, you can see the Milky Way. You can see all that stuff. But somehow when you get outside our atmosphere or to the moon or somewhere over here, there's no stars. And I really want to hear the explanation to that one. I mean, because it doesn't make sense. You should be able to see tons of stars, okay? And don't tell me about some kind of atmospherical type thing where, it doles out or, mutes out the light from, the space, in space, it's just different. Bullcrap, because you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at a planet, supposedly, that is illuminated with the light from a sun, which is a star. So if the light from the other stars can't reach this camera, ain't no way that the sun could either. So, I mean, we really got to use our heads sometimes. Don't buy the BS that is just handed to you. And I mean, at least question it. I mean, they might have a valid reason. I mean, the only thing I could think of is that they wanted to accentuate the planet and just kind of blacked out the stars. But that's stupid to me. It really is. I mean, that's like... So automatically, my thought is that it's been touched up. It's not as is. And that's what I'm looking for. And 4K picture from that far away. When did that... I need to find that. I'm going to look that up. I will find that. When and I'll actually put it in on the subtitles. But I'm going to find out whenever this satellite or whatever it is that took this picture, when it launched. And I'll see where that falls in line with the current resolution of what photographs were, because that is some amazing quality. That's cool. All right, let's get on down to it. The one that has been going on for quite a while at the very core, and the one that is branched off, and there's like a fern, like a wild vine. Pizzagate was from it. Okay. Pedogate, whatever. This is what had altered my whole thinking. this right here, this Pizzagate thing, is crazy. And it branches out even further as well. Okay? Of course, I'm talking about WikiLeaks, okay? The WikiLeaks emails with DNC and all of that stuff like that. I'm not going to really spend too much time on the Pizzagate thing. I think everybody probably knows about it. If not, then I suggest you research it and be bewildered, amazed, and confused, and pretty shocked. But these emails that dumped, they have caused. I wouldn't say that they caused. Okay, WikiLeaks is a foundation that reveals information that I think is detrimental. It should be revealed. I mean, everybody says, oh, well, you have a right to security, and NSA can hack you, and they can watch you on the cameras and stuff like that. And I'm like, really, I don't really care. I mean, they're gonna be pretty bored. I mean, I don't really have too much to hide. I mean, sometimes I skip laundry day. And I mean, I don't really care if you're that bored. You want. I mean, when you get into something that's like intrusive, where you're trying to, identity theft, that's a different thing. But if you just want to have the camera on my phone and check out what I'm doing, you are going to be bored, more than likely. So, but there's been a whole hubbub about it. And, you had the Pizzagate, and this is really what's at the forefront right now, is the Seth Rich investigation. I don't understand why anybody would try to hold back or try to interfere or stunt an investigation. I mean, there has to be some type of form of closure, okay? It doesn't matter who, what, or why, okay? We have had in our history, and I'm going throughout the history of the world, leaders and rulers that have been murderers, liars, thieves. I mean, people that have been of power. I mean, we've had people that, it doesn't matter. The truth is what matters. The truth is what matters. But you can't get a truth without an investigation, a proper investigation, and some mental awareness and detective skills. I mean, you can't sweep stuff under the rug, because all it does is send out a red flag. And a red flag in the long run, we have so many of those within our country. I mean, we have people that are still unsettled about stuff like JFK. I mean, and there is a lot of compelling evidence, why and the what, hows, and everything like that. I mean, I think that this needs to be a clean investigation, and it just seems that the tyranny and the politics and everything else that stemmed from the WikiLeaks is just it just seems like it's a juggling act almost. It just bounces around, and you can't ever get any solidity to a finalization of, this is going to happen. And it all, and I'm not going to say in leaning towards a certain direction, but it appears that certain people are that are involved in a lot of the stuff are involved. It's all linked together. Okay. If you're familiar with the WikiLeaks information relayed, then you should know who I'm talking about. And I'm not saying, and I'm not condemning. I'm not, I'm just stating the fact of what the information relays is. It's all linked together, and it's all linked by people, certain people, as well as another controversy that came through WikiLeaks is the Russia thing, the Putin and all that, and it wasn't necessarily created by WikiLeaks, but it was entertained that it was an issue where there was things going on with the election possibly, and there was rigging and whatnot. But that's the biggest one so far, and it's ongoing, and it's been ongoing, and I'd like to applaud people that risk things and put things out that should be put out, because we as a people, we have the right to that knowledge. Okay, if you're doing something wicked and scandalous, people should be aware of that. I mean, I know for a fact. I mean, I used to run with a weird crowd. Okay, and I know if I walked into a store and somebody started shoplifting, I'd be pretty pissed that they didn't tell me about it. I mean, and this is my thinking. If you gonna try to steal something, at least let me know so I can walk to the other. Come on, I can go wait in the car because I don't want to be associated. I don't want to know about it. Okay, so that's just my thought on it. I mean, and here's the other deal, and it's one of those things that nobody wants to do is own up. Nowadays, it's a ridiculous thing. There's no respect. There's no stature. I mean, if you mess up, you've messed up. You do the crime, you do the time. I mean, don't be a weasel. Don't be a weasel about stuff. Too many weasels. Ferret the weasel. Sorry, I had to do it. But anyway, I want you guys to have a happy Memorial Day. Let's forget about all this conspiracies for about 10 minutes. That's going to be good. Just close your eyes and meditate. Doesn't that feel good? All right.